Black Panther is nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. Black Panther is about T'Challa, the Prince of Wakanda, ascending to the throne after his father's death, and discovering that not only does he need to deal with an intimidating challenger to the throne, but he also has to grapple with the decisions of his forefathers, and with the pitfalls of the traditions that his country has lived by for centuries. This movie's nomination for Best Picture is probably the most controversial thing the Academy has done this year. It's gotten more attention than the Netflix nominations, and even more than the foreign films crossing categories. People are very upset. They seem to feel that this movie really doesn't deserve the Best Picture nomination. I have to mention that first because my review of this movie is mostly good. There are just a handful of things, big things, that I really love about this movie that really work. Most of all, it's the central conflict of the movie. T'Challa feels like an old school superhero, like a real role model character. And not only that, but he's got an actual moral dilemma to figure out. He's not just a hero, he's a king. He's the new king of a new nation that's really proud of their history. But he's secretly taking on the burden of all the mistakes made in their history. Killmonger is a really great villain in an old school sort of way as well. Show me my respect. He's really the symbol of all of those mistakes made in their history. And his motivation feels real. It doesn't feel justified, like it's sort of the trend to justify the villain's, reasons for wanting to take over the world. It's not so much that it's justified, it's like emotionally justified. You see that this guy is a very particular kind of emotionally unstable, and you buy that. The conflict is really personal. It's really motivated by characters, by their internal worlds, by their histories. All of the things that I dislike about this movie are sort of dwarfed by the fact that I really buy into this drama. I think it really works. Speaking of things that I don't like though, the action in this movie is really strange. It seems heavily inspired by The Matrix, not only in terms of like the sweeping camera moves, but also in the level of animation. The animation in this movie is truly weird and seems really dated. The world of Wakanda is visually fascinating and intriguing, but they make it feel very small when they keep cutting to one person who seems to have designed every piece of technology in the whole country. But that's really representative of a bigger issue I have with Wakanda, which is that I was really thirsty to find out some of the history, how this civilization is formed, some of the rules. I wanted to see that stuff. But they kind of just gloss over it quickly in the beginning, and then they quickly gloss over how all the tech got there. One person made it. And there's just like odd little shots that tell you a little bit about the world, and it's not enough. I wanted more of that stuff. The humor. Okay, it's been about a year since the movie came out, and the humor is already dated. I don't think anyone can sit through, "What are those?" without cringing just a little bit.
The real question is, what are those?
This stuff really weakens the repeat viewings and maybe stops the movie from reaching that next level. But there's good storytelling in Black Panther, and that still wins me over. However, it's kind of hard to see this as the motivation for nominating Black Panther for Best Picture. There have been good superhero movies in the past with great conflicts and great storytelling. Some of the superhero movies that came out last year are at least on the same level as Black Panther. But this is the one that's the first superhero movie ever to be nominated for Best Picture. Black Panther is undoubtedly a landmark film for representation. It's a film featuring a stellar, nearly all-black cast and made by black filmmakers, yet not targeted exclusively at a black audience, targeted at a general audience. It's representative of a positive change in culture and in Hollywood studios and in a lot of things. And this nomination says everything about the Oscars. This movie made a really big and exciting cultural splash last year. And I don't think the Academy can separate the splash from the movie.